I'm a little bit late, but oh well. So tonight, look at the cat. She's starting to like me. Gotta burn my sage, clear the space. Hey, beautiful. Hi, Moo Moo. Y'all look at her. We call her Ashley Jr. Ashley Jr. Hey, girl. Hey. Hey. Hey, beautiful. All right. So I'm going to just go ahead and get started. So tonight we're talking about DMT. DMT. It stands for, hold on, I don't remember. Dimethyltryptamine or some shit like that. But when I tell you, it is, so basically it's a chemical in the brain that is released when you sleep. More of it is released when you start dreaming, though. So when you sleeping, there's different stages of sleep. Hey, Moo Moo. How you doing? Hi, y'all. There's different stages of sleep, right? So, that first stage when you kind of going to sleep. Then that second stage when it's like, I don't know, but let's get to the REM stage. The REM stage is when you start dreaming. Y'all, that's when the magic happens. So when you start dreaming, there's a chemical that's released in your brain and it's called DMT, right? I know you've heard when somebody said sleep is the cousin of death. That shit is so true. And the science behind it. So the science is basically when the DMT is released during the REM stage of sleeping, the rapid eye movement stage of sleeping, that's like a hallucinogenic stage. And that shit is so fucking awesome. That's when you start dreaming. The crazy thing is when you die, DMT floods the brain. And the spirit cannot come back. Or it doesn't come back. Y'all, shit is real. How y'all doing tonight? Okay, so there's certain things that you can use to enhance your DMT or to help your brain to secrete more DMT. Like some people, they'll eat shrooms. Some people eat the shrooms for recreational use. And people will start like hallucinating and feel like they have outer body experiences because they really do have outer body experiences. I've tried it and that shit is so real. So again, I want to say what DMT is again. And you can look this up. Just look up, is DMT naturally occurring in the brain? And it'll tell you everything you need to know. Okay, so I have a couple theories, right? When you go to sleep, because this is what I experienced, because I done experienced so many outer body experiences. I had outer body experiences when I had been in an accident before, and it wasn't like a deadly accident or anything. It was just like an accident where a guy came, hit me, and I was so scared I left out of my body, and I could see myself holding on to the steering wheel. My vehicle kind of went to the side a little bit, and I could see myself, and I was like, what the fuck? I came back into my body, and it was like nothing ever happened. And I kind of didn't tell a whole lot of people about that because I was It was like crazy. But another time where I would come out of my body is during childbirth. When I had natural childbirth with Ashton, these people gave me, what is that? Something. It was basically a hormone to speed up my labor. And y'all, I did not need that shit. Because I was having that labor during the day after Christmas. So they only have one anesthesiologist at the hospital. So they're telling me, oh, well, you speed up your labor and we're going to wait for the anesthesiologist because you might have to get, because you're not going to be able to get an epidural. And I was like, whatever. So the whole time I was having labor way harder than I had to have labor. It supposedly made my labor 10 times harder. So what happened was I would come in and out of consciousness during that labor. And that was the first time. She was like my second kid. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? That shit happened then too. Have y'all had like any outer body experiences? Okay. So with DMT, right? Let me just say this. When you hit that REM stage of sleep, that's when your spirit leaves your body. Okay? If you look at the video that I just put on my page, I had a client that came to me. Let me put this phone down because I'm tripping. I had a client, right? The client, she felt comfortable talking to me about this, right? She came to me. She told me that, her child is at home while she works like across the street. And basically, every time the child would call her and say, oh, I'm going to sleep, her phone will start pinging saying that she got notifications saying there's movement in the house, right? So what she would do is she snuck home and she was like, well, dang, my child is sleeping. She would always like look on the camera and was like, oh my God, the child is sleeping. So I'm wondering, why in the world am I getting all these notifications? Turns out she checked the camera, and whenever her child goes to sleep, about maybe an hour or so into sleep, his spirit, his light will come out of his body and fly around his body and then fly around the house. Y'all, that shit is so real. So after a certain stage of sleeping, you really come up out of your body. And that's when the DMT, like almost, it doesn't flood the brain until you die, but it's said that a lot of the DMT comes out of the pineal gland. It secretes out of the pineal gland, and it's active while you're dreaming. This shit is so real, y'all. So y'all ever had any like crazy experiences? Hello, y'all. How you doing? Okay, so there are things that you can use to help heighten your dream state, I'll say, and lengthen your REM state. Yes, that's how we astral travel. Hell yeah. Girl, you want to get on and talk? Hi. You want to get on and talk? Yes or no? Have you had any experiences where you astral traveled and you was like, oh my God, and you kind of like planned it and it really happened? Because that has happened to me lately. I'll ask for guidance. I'll be like, okay, before I go to sleep, every night before I go to sleep, I'd be like, okay, y'all, I don't know what the next mission is, but I need you to tell me something. I need y'all to let me know something. And my pineal gland will just be like, ding, 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 ding. I can't remember any dreams. What can I do? Okay, you have to be intentional so you can remember your dreams. All right? Also, if you're a smoker, don't smoke before you go to sleep. And that's hard because sometimes that should help you go to sleep. There are teas. You can use chamomile. Chamomile is a beautiful herb that you can use, and it'll help you kind of relax and go to sleep. You will try? Okay. Astral projection. Hell yeah. So chamomile is one herb that you use. And it helps you kind of relax and go to sleep. But before you go to sleep, you have to be intentional. You have to talk to your guides and let your guides know, damn, I really need clarification on something that had happened. Y'all ever had like, okay, I'll put it like this. You walk into a room and you felt like you know what's about to happen. Deja vu. Maybe you dreamt about it, but then you can't remember that dream. Yeah, maybe you dreamt about it. Lavender and rain sounds. Hell yeah. Also, like natural rain sounds. It feels good to listen to things when you're sleeping. Deja vu. It feels good to listen to things when you're sleeping, but it's really, really good when you have like no stimulation at all, like no stimulation whatsoever while you are sleeping. If you were expecting a dream from someone, like say you had a loved one that you done been calling all day, and that person is on the other side. And when I say call, I'm talking about using your telepathy. We have antennas. These are antennas, okay? The same way that bees have antennas and they talking to each other in the fucking hive and shit. But you aren't going anywhere if your pineal gland is not open. Girl, let's have a conversation. Okay, so I'm gonna bring you on. And hopefully that answered y'all question. How you open your pineal gland. On my last live, I talked about how you open your pineal gland. So let me show you a couple of things that I got here. This right here is pine root. It's called sacred pine root. And think about it. The pineal gland, pine root. This tree is over 100 years old. Hey y'all, how you doing? You aren't going anywhere. Exactly, if you listen to those electronic sounds. So, excuse me. This right here, sometimes I'll like this like whenever I need like some kind of stimulation, because this shit speaks to me, y'all. As nature. Whenever you want to do things that people can't really explain, you look at nature and you see how they do it. Like electronic sounds, your phone, your TV, you gotta cut all of that stuff off. Cut the fucking Wi-Fi off. I'm at the point now where I can hear the Wi-Fi sounds around me, because when I cut the Wi-Fi off at my house, like I can still hear Wi-Fi sounds from my neighbors. You can open your pineal gland simply by going outside between 4 and 6 p.m. That's true. And also change your diet. Okay, I'm gonna bring you on. Elizabeth. Answer the phone.
Hello.
Oh my gosh, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
Tell me more about
Girl, it's so refreshing to hear people talking like that.
Because that's real stuff.
Yes. And a lot of people get scared by the real stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to hear about your astral travels. Anything you want to tell me?
Well, I think I'm still on that journey, but I can definitely identify with, like, I've woken up crying plenty of times. I've woken up with and known like this is about to happen, or felt that deja vu when something does happen, like, just like a scene from any random day. It's like, I've done this before. Like, that happens a lot.
And I feel like recently I've been asking for guidance, and it's like, I don't know who the fuck telling me this or putting this stuff in your head or whatever, whether it's a ancestor, whether like smooth. They telling you
Mm.
like what a lot of things. I kind of think of butterfly effect.
Right,
Like
right.
catch some
That
shit,
movie was so deep.
girl. Like like some things you ain't supposed to touch and mess with the natural rhythm of. And I'm starting to
Mm-hmm.
maybe I shouldn't have said anything about maybe certain things. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a lot of things where it's like, damn bitch, you should have said that a long time ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I really feel like the frequency is changing. I don't know quite how to describe it. It's a lot of stardust. I mean, of course we get stardust all the time, but it's stronger. Like
Yes.
something with these new, it has to do a lot with these new children coming in, because I have three pandemic babies. I had twins,
Oh
and
my
then I
God.
had my son before them was supposed to be a twin. So it's something, some type of new star energy that is waking a lot of people up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't quite know how to describe it. Like, what are your thoughts?
I've been hearing a lot about 5G type of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And also I don't know. I just been looking up a lot more. Like
Yeah.
maybe it's just time. Maybe it's okay. So I heard that there was like spells on the human race, and we were basically put to, and now spells is basically over, and we're being freed. That's why some people was able to tap in like without any problem a long time ago, but
Mm-hmm. Right.
it took us a little longer. However, a lot of us are born with gifts, and
Yes.
we're born with missions. And
Yes.
when they talk about Mission Impossible, that's a whole nother fucking story right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm. Girl.
all
Yes.
all I can do is talk about like self experiences, because I honestly don't know. Like the only thing I know is that I don't know. I only
Right.
feel. I can only feel what the fuck is right and what's wrong. So it's like, and it's like I'm also learning from experiences,
Mm-hmm.
certain experiences. Now you know that. Move on.
Right.
But one thing I will say is not to worry about everything else. Just worry about your bubble
Mm-hmm.
and the change that you can make. For,
Mm-hmm.
because the little change that you can make for yourself and your family and whoever is like surround you, that's what people need to see. Because
Yeah.
it gives people like not only other people, but it also gives you like some kind of confirmation and motivation to keep going.
I agree.
So it's like whenever you see something and you have to say something, say that shit. Whenever you walk into a room and you get the fuck out, you really get the fuck out.
You're right about that one.
You know? And that's
You're
kind of
definitely right.
feeling certain stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My girl, I don't know what the fuck going on, but all I know is we got powers and we need to learn how to use them.
We do. That is so true. That is so true. And I feel like, I mean, it's always been the case, but even more so now, the propaganda and the people that are meant to come online and understand about their powers, it's just even more influx of brainwashing so they won't.
Uh-huh.
And from the things that wouldn't have hurt people, ordinarily, like people doing smoking or street drugs or anything, is so much in stuff now that
Yes.
that's not a form of release for people. People used to be able to do whatever they did, and ascend a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
ascend a great deal and get out of themselves. But now the stuff that's going around now.
Because they're fucking with it, because they know that it's like almost like we unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, having dreams that's coming true.
Yes.
It's like we a step ahead, a few days ahead. They can't control that shit, but what they can control is our consumption. The shit that what we see, what we hear, what we eat.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that we have to have more control of is our consumption. And once we control that shit, then we control a whole lot more. So it's like, girl, this shit is so deep.
It really is.
So let's talk
about what? Say it again.
Let's talk about the weed. You can hear me good? So the weed is not the weed anymore.
No.
The weed
I mean, I'm not trying to put my business out there, but I don't currently smoke, but I've been a smoker since I was 16, maybe.
Off and on.
Yeah. This shit right here.
Yeah. Something is wrong.
Something is wrong.
So what I've been researching is a lot of the stuff that's inside, even inside like some of the, I'll say the legal places where you want.
I don't trust any of that.
So the government has regulations.
Okay.
There's certain like chemicals that they have to use when they're growing certain things, and those chemicals either make it grow faster, do this, do that. That's what they're telling the growers. But they're fucking us up chemically, making weed ever been addictive.
Exactly.
You know how hard it was for me to stop smoking? I was like fucking in this bitch. I was like, oh, I just need to let me smell it.
Yeah, and it's making people angry.
Yes.
Like, yeah.
It is.
And people, like, especially people in the quote-unquote conscious community, if I always smoke, then they're not getting it. Like, you need to put that down. It's different now.
It is. And that's why I stopped, because I realized, I was like, okay, I cannot trust this shit. I can't even trust at the dispensary. I was like, no, them little pens, bruh.
Yeah.
It's a no. It fucks up.
The chemicals.
And I wasn't getting my dreams. I was like, damn, I'm not even getting my God.
See, that's a good indication.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that cancels out your dreams, yep.
And that's
very good.
Girl. Whew, so you've been having some dreams that have been coming true?
I get flashes of scenes from like daily life. And I don't know, it's kind of random, but I'm like, am I supposed to know something about this scene, or is something supposed to happen? I don't know. It increases my awareness. I definitely question myself more, like what is going on? So
sometimes it's something that you don't understand, but then you notice it was somebody in the dream. So maybe you were supposed to just share that dream with the person exactly how you remember it. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be from beginning to end, just whatever you remember. Because what you remembered that part for a reason. And you share it with that person, and you never know how it can help that person in some kind of way.
That's so true.
Like, I'll say my grandmama, every time I got pregnant, she was like, I dreamt the fish. You pregnant? I was
no.
You know? Knowing I about 3-4 months pregnant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't you yet. But she been dreaming about fish forever. So, you know, everybody kind of, you gotta study yourself and ask for guidance.
That's true. Before
you go to sleep, and like I said, like a lot of Bible shit has been coming true. Like,
yeah.
And I'll tell you this, I never read the Bible from front to back.
I have not either.
A lot of Bible stuff that I do remember, like asking you shall receive. That shit is true. I was thinking about that the other day.
like everything that I've asked for, and it's faster now. That's another thing about this frequency. It's
Yeah.
fast.
Yes.
It's so fast.
It's a
Cause
new.
it is. It is. It really is. Like, this was a few months ago, but my computer had died. Like, I couldn't charge my computer, and I said, "Now someone's gonna give up me a computer. Someone's
Uh-huh.
gonna give my family a computer." And don't you know, that same day I got a call, somebody giving us a $1,500 new computer.
Girl.
So it's that fast. Like,
And listen, they call us chosen for a reason.
yes,
You should receive, because obviously you needed that computer.
yeah.
And maybe you needed that computer for the mission that you're supposed to be completing.
I'm trying to get back to the mission. So
So I'll tell you this. You got some missions, sis.
girl.
You got some, and you got some little warriors there that you raising. So
Yeah.
the first thing is consumption, like water, sunlight, fruits, veggies. Start there, and girl, everything will be so, so, so clear for you. Like, that's all I can say. And herbs.
And herbs.
Herbs. That shit is, that's a major part.
It
Like,
is.
when I started incorporating the herbs daily, I
Mm-hmm.
like when my son got, long story, but my son got injured from vaccines when he was like one,
Oh
a long
gosh.
time ago, and that's what turned me on to herbs and Dr. Sage.
Mm-hmm.
This it was
Oh, love Dr. Savvy.
because I knew nothing.
Girl.
Like, dead ass, like this guy that I was dating at the time, when I was going through the stuff with my son, and I was like still like real, real young. I was like, who in the world is that?
Mm-hmm.
He put me on to Dr. Sabi, and I was like, what the fuck
Mm-hmm.
is going on? My son went from walking, talking at one. I got some smart ass kids, and honestly,
Wow. I believe you.
they be smart very early on in life. But he went from walking, talking to fucking chewing batteries and shit. Like, nigga, if you go down my Facebook timeline, I have batteries in like back in the day. It had to be like 2012.
Uh-huh.
This man, and I have a girl on the thing. She remembered when he was going through this, but he had like chew marks in the fucking battery, girl. Like he was just, he had to chew something hard
Oh my God.
going on. And when we were all up in the fucking Rutledge Tower, they were telling us that he was on the spectrum and he needed surgery.
No.
And
No.
at one point, I actually gave him the medicine, and my son was getting worse. And I was like, man, fuck this shit. Oh my God. No. So I stopped. Those people threatened.
Mm-hmm.
Those people
Mm-hmm.
threatened I was going to call CPS. I was like, well, bitch, call them. I stopped,
Mm-hmm.
and I started doing herbal treatments on myself. And that's what,
Mm-hmm.
learning the herbs. Now, at that time, I noticed that he was changing and he was getting better.
Mm-hmm.
So, once he got better, we didn't do it daily. But what we did do was every time we got sick, I learned herbs to help us with our immune system.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So, and everything kind of branched off from there, learning different parts of the body,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that or whatever. But, girl, these herbs, they help you in so many different ways. You do not need a medication. You don't need a Tylenol. You don't need
No.
pill, pain relief. You don't need none of that shit. There's a herb for everything. And guess where they are? They're probably in your front yard. The
They
herb
probably are.
weeds
Yeah. That's
in your,
true.
in your front yard. They call
That's
them,
true.
they got herbicide that's going to kill
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
These are shit that's making us better. They come up at a certain time of year for a reason.
For a reason.
So it's like, it's real deep. And once you
It
realize,
is.
well, I'll say once people realize that this is really a war and it's in the mind,
Okay.
understand, maybe I shouldn't be listening to these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But that's another story. But
That's something deep right there.
I have I have a dream tea that it helps you to remember your dreams. So basically, it gives you a longer REM cycle, and that
Okay.
cycle is that rapid eye movement cycle when the
Yep.
DMT is released.
Mm-hmm.
And another time the DMT is released is when you die. Isn't that ironic?
But see, that's what no, because that's how we jump to different dimensions.
Yes.
Like it makes so much sense.
Yes.
Because that's how
We
like
are
okay, referring to the pyramid text in the Book of the Dead or the Book of Coming Forth by Day. Like that's how we knew how to travel. It
yep.
makes so much sense. And that's how we can still see our ancestors
Hmm?
and journey different places when we're asleep. Like it makes sense. I get it.
Yes. And me and my friend was talking about this today. Like when I was working in healthcare, I worked in healthcare for a very long time. Girl, when I
Wow.
tell you, whenever they start talking about, oh, y'all hear that baby? Y'all don't hear that baby crying? I'd be like, oh, she about to go. You know what I'm saying? She probably about to die. They'll be gone.
Oh wow.
Or maybe a couple days, but they start talking about hearing the baby. So some people, that energy is transferred into another body.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know. Remember, the only thing that I know is that I don't know. But shit
Right.
sense sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
It does.
Oh Lord. This world is just so much more than what we thought it was.
It's because we, as especially as Black people, we let ourselves continue to be indoctrinated when so much energy and a lot of the information is free.
Yeah.
Like just it's so many free PDFs, but not just that. We close ourselves off to what really makes sense
Mm-hmm.
and just go with the BS on uh news and radio. Like we just go with it, and it's sad. It's
But
sad to see people continuously, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes,
oh, say what you gotta.
but
People need.
continuously go to church and eat the fried chicken and eat the pork, and it's like I honestly believe if you consume something, do that, but do it under the understanding. Like, if whatever you put in your body, whether it's information or food or drug, understand what that is for and what chemicals and other agents are doing as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's just my 2 cents about that.
And the
Like,
thing is, I done told so many people that I have a tea, right? And they're the first thing they say is, well, what's in it? What's in it? And I be like, you ain't ask what the fuck they shoot your ass up with in that shot.
okay.
Mhm.
We
But you
don't
don't know what
know.
kind of herbs I'm giving you. You know, I'm not trying to kill you. I'm trying to help you. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like a lot of people ignore things because of fear and because of fear of what others is going to say. People, we have to be brave. So it's like people like us, we're needed. We're here for a reason. At this time on this earth, we are here for a reason. And maybe that's a part of our mission.
Maybe it's a little bit overwhelming. It is.
It
But
is.
it's like somebody has to, because it's
You got
I hate to see people suffer. I hate to see people go down the wrong path, especially young people in their early 20s. And I think we about the same age. So,
yeah, I'm in my 30s. I'm 35.
girl, I turned 35. Is it already May? Next month I'll be 35. So
So, you know, happy early birthday in case I don't get
thank you. And I think if we don't help these younger 16 through 20 something year olds,
yes.
they're just gonna fall. And it's scary nowadays
Yeah.
because I mean, you see some of these older, like 40s and 50s people that they never amounted to nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so scary because it's like the government is designed. Oh, I don't want to say too much,
Girl, say what you
but
gotta say.
it's like eugenics. I mean, it's stuff designed out there to make sure to population control, and
Yeah.
people don't get it. It's like they show us in all the movies. Like, wake up, people.
And that's because they have to show us, because they give you an illusion of choice, but most of all, we have free will.
Yes.
So they trick
Yes.
the shit. You notice with those shots, they was telling people, "Oh, you can win the lottery. You can do this. You're gonna lose your job."
Yeah. And that scared people about the job. That
You
scared them.
know how many entrepreneurs were made because they were like, "Man, fuck that shit." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is, and maybe we'll touch that another day. But thank you so much for coming on. All right,
Girl,
this
it's
is
always a pleasure. I've been wanting to, cause we know each other through, mutual friends. So I'm gonna be ordering that tea, though. I'll tell you that.
it's good
Is it
stuff.
on your website?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I surely will be.
Thank
About to
you.
order it right now, actually.
You gonna love it.
Well, that's good. I love to drink tea, so that works.
So you drink it before bed.
Okay.
Nothing in your stomach at least 2 to 3 hours before you go to
Okay.
sleep. Drink some water so then you can wake up off the dreams and write them down so then you can remember and recall them just a little easier, because it's
Right.
like it's like dream after dream after dream, because it's like once they reach you and they notice that you're active and everything is like they
Mm-hmm.
many messages, and your pineal gland is gonna be like, oh my god, it's just
And
you'll get a little
does
head.
your pineal gland ever not hurt but throb
Yes.
sometimes?
When you have a message, that's go to sleep or meditate. That
Okay.
I had to learn on my own because I thought I was having headaches. I was like, what the fuck is
Yeah.
going on? But it's just here.
Mm-hmm.
It's time for another mission. It's time for another. It's just time to work. That's why the fuck we here.
Yeah, that is true.
I'm just so happy that you're tapped in.
Girl, it's refreshing to hear from other people that are tapped in. So
Yeah.
thank you for being tapped in.
Thank you. And I'll see you later.
Okay.
All right. Oh Lord, you guys. Let me go to this message. Okay, so Mumu, you said you dream a lot when you was pregnant. Let me tell you this, right? I dreamed like crazy when I was pregnant. But also you have to remember that woman's manifestations, man is just short for manifestations. We are light beings. This is just a little meat suit. You know what I'm saying? This is a meat suit. When you're pregnant, that's your direct connection. You know what I'm saying? We are the portal. We are the direct connection to the other world, to another dimension. We are multi-dimensional beings. So of course you're going to get all kind of crazy dreams when you are pregnant, because maybe you're getting information on this new soul that you're carrying. You know, maybe you getting, I don't know, like even while I was pregnant with like, I'll just say my last 2 pregnancies, I was more in tune with my body. So I'll talk about Free's pregnancy. When I was pregnant with Free, y'all, this girl had me, listen, if anybody woke me up out of a nap, I would go fucking crazy. I was never like that. But now she's like crazy if you wake her up. Okay, like it's certain things that I would not eat that I absolutely loved before I got pregnant with her, and then I couldn't eat them again until after I had her. Like, and now she loves certain things that I hate, or hate certain things that I love. But it's just like, it is so real. Like, we are the portals. We are the spiritual porters. We women, we are the direct connection, because when a child is born, I ain't gonna say born, but when a child is conceived, I'll say the first thing is the pineal gland. The first thing is the pineal gland that's born, that's start forming. My last one was like that. Okay, so it's like, use your connections. Use your connection. Anybody want to come on and talk about a dream or talk about your spiritual journey? Because y'all, when I say this is new to me. When I say new, I'll say, okay, before I got pregnant with Free, I was heavy on yoga. I had no meat. I wasn't eating like meat and stuff like that for like maybe 4 years or so. Excuse me. All these notifications coming through. Maybe like 4 years. I've been doing yoga. I was meditating, and it was crazy. Hi, Shantae. And I noticed that I was hearing shit, and I thought I was crazy. And I was like, oh, Lord, somebody take this shit away from me. But not only that, but I would see a lot more of my peripheral vision. Like, your peripheral vision is for seeing spirits, okay? Like, y'all got to believe me. If y'all see a little shadow walking across and you look and all of a sudden it's gone, it was something there. It was someone there. Learn how to feel energy. Just take the time to sit in the sun throughout the day. Even if it's like 5 minutes. Hey, girl. Even if it's like 5 minutes throughout the day, 2 minutes, whatever, because you have to charge. You got to think about it like this. A lot of us, we leave from out our house and we go into our cars, and then we go from out our cars into our job, from in our job all day, back to our cars, from that car back to the house. Now, when the fuck you been in the sun? You haven't been in the sun at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to charge. And then you wonder why I'm about to say got dementia. My hair bad, y'all. You wonder why you're a little depressed, why you angry, why you fucking hungry and all kind of shit. Because how often do you eat fresh fruit? Man, don't tell me that. I see that all the time. Yeah, you see it all the time. Just pay attention. Talk to them. You'll be surprised what they say back. Like, it is not a secret. If y'all look at all of these movies and stuff, these movies aren't fucking made up. Spirits are not to hurt you. No, they are not. And you better believe, if you can see them, you're behind this. I believe that you are protected. You have to walk in the light. Listen to those old spirituals from church. Like, I'll sing one of them. Walk in the light, the beautiful light. So, by day and by night. Listen, I don't remember that shit, but I remember walking the light, the beautiful light. Y'all, this shit is so beautiful. All you have to do is do more good than you do bad, and take care of your body so that you can receive your message. Why don't we do a podcast? We could. I know they won't. It's just knowing that they are there. So what about it? Like, scares you, just knowing that they're there? Because, like, when I think about spirits, and I'm about to tell y'all something very personal in a second, but when I think about them, the ones that I've been encountered with, I just feel them as another person, just like another me, like another motherfucker. Just if somebody was sitting next to me, it just feels just like that. You have to think about it like this. Some people were good when they were alive. Some people was not when they was alive. You know what I'm saying? And in life, there's duality. There's some good shit and there's some bad shit. You know? And if you don't learn your lesson, you're going to go back into life again. You're going to keep going back into life until you figure that shit out. And I don't know the answers. And I keep saying, like, the only thing that I do know is that I don't know. I don't know. You don't know. We only can guess. We only can experience stuff. And that's how we learn shit. Some spirits can't take on a physical form. Some can. Bruh. So I'm gonna tell y'all this story, and then if anybody want to come on, just say hi. I want to come on or something. So maybe a couple of weeks ago, right? It was me, my cousin, and a client. We were sitting on the porch, and my cousin had me listening to a recording from this lady that teaches about the stuff that I've been experiencing. And I've been seeing a little boy in my house. And it's nothing scary, but when I would use the bathroom, I don't never close the door. I would see the little, and I knew it was a little boy because I could feel it's a little boy. So it's a little boy. So I'd be like, hey, my husband was in the bathroom one day and he was like, who in here now? And I was like, I know, but we're going to figure this shit out. So my friend ended up coming over to the house. And I was like, after she came to the house and we had a conversation, I knew exactly who the little boy was. So that day that she came over and I recognized who the little boy was, I was like, okay, damn, he had passed away some time ago, right? And how do I tell the story? Oh my God. Okay, so he was 2 when he passed away. Okay. So anyways, when my friend came over, it was maybe a couple weeks before my cousin and my client was on the porch. And once I realized who it was, what I said was, at that moment, I was like, okay, well, you know what? I'm going to ask for clarification on how he died. I'm going to ask for guidance on the information that I'm going to receive of how he died. And y'all, I had got a dream that same night of how he passed away. But in the dream, being that he was a 2 years old little boy, in the dream, he came to me and he was a puppy. He was a puppy. So when he died, so I saw the way he passed away in the dream, and I was just like in awe when I woke up. And I was able to pass the message to my friend. And my friend was just like, she understood. But what had happened was, on the porch that day, while we were talking about this little boy, a toy that hasn't worked for 3 years started going off every time I called his name. Y'all, this shit is real. Every time I called his name, the toy went off. Hi. And he done been gone for 20 years. And that's crazy. So I don't know, maybe this is just a big year for me, because in my life, things happen in twos. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. That's how the dreams come through. But when this little boy, every time I called this little boy name, even my cousin was like, well, I'm going to call his name. She called his name and the toy went off again, y'all. We could not make this shit up. And I'm so happy that the 3 of us were there and it wasn't just me by myself. Another thing that just made me remember, it's another Bible situation, but you know what? The Bible was reinterpreted so many times, but it was the 3 of us and we were in the triangle. And the triangle is the strongest. The strongest. And we were sitting in a triangle. And in the Bible, don't it say something about when there's three people or something, the spirit shall be amongst you or something like that? Maybe that's why he was so it was so easy for him to make that shit work. That shit didn't work for 3 years, y'all. The toy didn't work for 3 years, and the toy was just a little toy that we got around the yard that the kids was just playing with. You know what I'm saying? And it was going off. It was beautiful. So, cause one I see, I think 2 or 3 gather, he is in the midst. That's right. 2 or 3 gather, he is in the midst. Yo, the shit is real. It is real. Anybody want to come on and tell me about their dream? Tell me about your spirituality. Like, I got a little party to go to. I'm about to go. I just wanted to get on. If y'all want to know what we was talking about earlier, we was talking about DMT and that chemical in your brain when your spirit leaves your body when you go to sleep. DMT is basically a chemical that your body makes, and it comes into your brain when you're in your REM cycle. So what in that REM cycle, basically they say that you hallucinate and shit like that. You're only hallucinating, your spirit leaves your body. If you look on the last post before I started my live, that last post is basically showing you a little boy's spirit flying around the room. When he reached his REM cycle, he came out of his body, flew around his body, and this light, you can see it. You can't make this shit up. And that's why I say you have to lift your window a little bit. When you go to sleep, lift your window so that you can be free. Open your door, lift your window. All right, y'all. But go back, watch the live. You can learn some good shit, and then I'll see y'all later for the next one. We're gonna have I call it Spiritual Sensations of a Goddess's Quest. That's the name of this shit. Okay. All right, y'all. I saw the video. Y'all saw the video? Y'all, we'll talk about that video a little later. But that shit is so deep. But anyways, I love you guys. Thank you. Bye.